This video today won't be breaking any grounds, won't be, any revolutionary video, just kind of a little bit of an informative type of style. I was asked when I did a live stream on Instagram the other day what type of videos maybe y'all should want to see, and just talking about my trip and everything else, blah 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 blah. And it came up like, hey, you should do one for like traveling with your fragrances. So I figured, you know what, that's a really good idea. Let me go ahead, kind of show you all maybe what I'm packing, what I'll be reviewing, what to expect, but at the same time giving some people a little bit of a tutorial as to how to handle TSA when traveling with your fragrances. Okay, so those who may know, those who don't, I am getting ready to travel to Georgia. Yes, Georgia. Shout out to Ray Charles. But I'm going to be traveling to Georgia. Sister's graduating. Finally, I know. Long years, right? Y'all remember when I stopped reviewing because I had to take care of my sister because she was still so young. And now she's so old. She's not that old. But congrats, baby sis. Proud of you. Anyways, fragrances. Couple of things you need to know in case you've never traveled, or in case whatever the case may be. It's always better to bring your samples than your actual bottles. I decanted Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir because this is kind of the scent that I'm going to want. You want to always, at least for me, I make sure I look at what the weather is going to be, what type of event I'm going to. Is it just vacation, and try to consolidate that, because you're only allowed, at least for me, I err on the side of caution. I try not to pack more than 100 mLs worth of fragrance as a whole. In this case, since I'm going back to Georgia, I am wanting to finally review and cover Zahar of Citrine. So this already takes out 60 mLs out of the 100 ml, if you will. And I am bringing it in the box, and I'm gonna store it in a baggie like this. Usually want it to be some sort of Ziploc bag of sorts in this, the larger size. So put it in there like so, make it transparent, this way it could be seen. And then you'll want to store it with your carry-on more so than, if you can, at least for the fragrances that you are bringing with you initially. Now if you end up buying fragrances, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But in terms of actual just, hey, I am bringing these fragrances today with me to travel, you want to do it like that. Also for the trip, I will be reviewing another Zahar XXX. This is somewhat newer. It only comes in this travel size. You also ideally maybe want to travel with travel size bottles. If you could get them in travel size, it just makes it that much easier. Like I said, my little 5 ml decant of Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir, because that is an unAVERAGE smelling fragrance in comparison to everything else that Atlanta has to offer. Solange, Aventus, God, I'm sorry. Baccarat 540. All right, that's. I think that's the end of it. Like I said, you'd want to put all of that into the bag. Fragrance that I'll be wearing on the plane, I will be wearing Hedonism from Aaron Terrence Hughes at my Aaron Terrence Hughes event. If you haven't seen it, go ahead, check it out. Yeah, really good stuff. I'll look to get a review out to you on that real shortly. I got some selections here as to some fragrances that would be pretty good when it comes to traveling. Coming in at number 1, I will recommend to use something if you have a little bit more of a budget. If you like to go out to nicer places, maybe you're taking your significant other out on a date, then I'd recommend you travel with this DesignerShaikInc 70 but it's no longer in this bottle. It is now in this bottle. So just keep that in mind. This fragrance is a fragrance that will stand out different from the norm, and you do get a pretty good quality. $150 is what you're gonna end up paying. A little bit of citrus, creamy sandalwood, vetiver, kind of herbally, earthy, green, patchouli going on, musk, aromatic, lavender. Good fragrance. And again, you will smell unique. Not the longest lasting thing, so if you're paying $150, just keep that in mind. But as a whole, you're going to smell good. This has garnered compliments and a lot of attention. It's a very masculine smell, but still kind of can be worn by women. So check it out. Shaik 7. Number 2, I am going to take it back a little bit. Way back. 93, 90s. We're talking about Guy Laroche Horizon. This is an oak moss, green, freshy. Comes off oh so slightly aquatic, but it's not. Citruses, green. This is good. Now, I'd recommend this if you're an older gentleman, if you're, you know, 30s and above. It still has a sense of being modern, so it's not gonna come off like you are completely dated. You know, you're not gonna show your age per se, but it'll show that there is a sense of refinement and appreciation and class. And you could find this, I mean, I got this bottle for $7. You could find this really cheap. Numero Trace. I'm going to recommend a really borderline feminine but still unisex fragrance from an underrated house that really should garner a lot more attention. This fragrance should. If you like tropical, if you like semi-fruity, exotic, if you like a little bit of tonka, if you like gin and tonic vibes or mojito even, Mage de Orient from Comptoir Pacifique. A little grainy because that's with the tonka, and those who love tonka will appreciate this. There is a good amount, but this is a very fruity floral fragrance. There's like jasmine, there's lychee, there's pineapple, coconut. Comes off kind of fruity, creamy, sand. It doesn't have alcohol listed, but like I said, this will remind you of a gin and tonic or a mojito. And you can still find this fragrance for somewhat affordable pricing, you know, $50 to $100. But as a whole, it's a really, really good fragrance. This is 100 ml. Definitely an underrated summer fragrance, and I've had no issues when I have pulled this one off in the higher heat temperatures, or when it comes to traveling, you know, if you're traveling to an exotic place. Number 4, I really just have one question, even though all of these kind of could fit the bill. How do you feel about Bleu de Chanel? Do you like Bleu de Chanel? Do you like Armani, Acqua di Gio, any kind, in the aromatic qualities? Then definitely make sure that you go ahead and try Polo Blue Gold Blend. You want to know why? Because it's not going to smell like both of those fragrances necessarily as a whole, like if you sprayed both of them. But this is a fragrance that will give you a lot of that Bleu de Chanel grapefruit, incense, and you know, that depth. It's gonna turn around and give you all the aromatic properties that something like an Acqua di Gio has, because it has like melon and some cucumber, lavender still going on. It's a very good, easy, leisurely fragrance. Can be had for about $42 when you get it on discount, and I definitely recommend you get it on discount. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a little unique while still falling in line with the norm, but it will last. And it is a very pleasant fragrance. A lot of people do enjoy Polo Blue Gold Blend, and I'd recommend you check it out. It's a staple in my collection for a reason. Last but not least is the fragrance that I went ahead and I made my comeback, my first comeback of 2 in 2018 with This is from John Varvatos and Nick Jonas. This is JVNJ Blue. Reminds you of many different things, most notably something, let's say a fusion of like Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce meets Jean Paul Gaultier in the Navy, meets something like, I don't know, like a little bit of Invictus Aqua. So you're getting just a very casual vibe with this. Versatile, people will enjoy it. It's not gonna last that long. But this bottle can be had for $37. Somebody who's just in their 20s or 30s, just looking to wear something while away and smell good and fresh and everything, yeah, it's worth it. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any other like TSA tricks, or how do you go about packing, storing your fragrances. What fragrances, or what's your process for actually figuring out what fragrances you're gonna wear? Let me know down below. I appreciate you all watching, and get ready because we are still on the road to 2K, and we're getting closer and closer and closer to that 24-hour stream and those giveaways. So thank you all for all the continued support, and I'll see you all in the next video. Alright.